Hello and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to discuss embolism. It is a process of partial or complete obstruction of some part of the cardiovascular system, or maybe a mass carried in by the circulation and transported intravascular, detached from its origin sites, is known as embolus. So again, it is a partial obstruction that travel from some part of the cardiovascular system and get separated some section and travel through arteries and can cause embolism like pulmonary embolism. Type of embolisms. The most important and we discussed before as well is the pulmonary embolism, and it usually the common site is the vein of the lower legs. Then we have the systemic embolism on the left ventricle. Then we have fat embolism caused because of the trauma to bone or soft tissue damage. Then air trapment like air embolism. It could be on head and neck operation. In the venous, or it could be in the arterial, such as cardiothoracic, or surgery such as angiography. Then we have decompression sickness, especially the scuba divers, or such as unpressurized flight when you're traveling through uh, airplane. Then we have some amniotic fluid embolism because of the presence of amniotic fluid. Then we have atheroembolism, which is the formation of atheromatous plaque. Then the last one is a tumor embolism, which actually the fragment of tumor that can travel. So you can see there are 8 different type of embolism, and every type have a different pathophysiology. If it travel through lungs, it is known as pulmonary embolism. If it is systemic through left ventricle, then it is systemic. Then if the fat deposit because of the trauma, then it is fat embolism. Then if air entrap because of the angiography or because of the cardiothoracic or obstruction trauma, then it is air embolism. Then and the uncompressed pressurized air are scuba divers that can face decompression sickness, or the retention of the amniotic fluid, or the presence of atheroma plaque, or the presence of tumor fragments. So we can classify depending upon the nature of emboli. When we talk about systemic thromboembolism, it could be divided into arterial and venous. The arterial thromboembolism, the main cause is because of within the heart, 80 to 85%, and they are mural thrombi in the left atrium or left ventricle, vegetations on the mitral or aortic valves or prosthetic heart valves, or because of the cardiomyopathy. So the main reasons of arterial thromboembolism is either the mitral valve or the aortic valve or prosthetic heart valve or cardiac myopathy. Then the causes that within the arteries, it could be because of the atherosclerotic plaque I highlighted in the red, or because of the aortic aneurysm, or because of the pulmonary vein, or paradoxal arterial emboli. This is the atherosclerosis, and we know that it occurs because of the deposition of the cholesterol or fibrin, and it occurs because of the damaged endothelial cells. So platelets will move. If cholesterol over there, they can play, and then with the presence of platelets, lipids, or cholesterol, along with the macrophages, it can lead to uh, cause a mural emboli. Then we have, this is the example of aortic aneurysm. Last time we already discussed that it occur because of the presence of high cholesterol level that leads to the thickening of the arteries, uh, and that blockage is fatal. And around if 80% of patients die with uh, aneurysm. We will discuss these detail in cardiovascular system. This is an example of paradoxical embolism, where the embolism travel from vein, or in which the clot will travel from a vein in leg or pelvis and enter in the right atrium. This is the stage A, and then it travel and reach to the left atrium. And this embolism then from left ventricle, they can pump into aorta, and then it can travel to brain and can cause stroke. So paradoxical embolism is actually the traveling of the blood clot from right atrium to left atrium, or it can travel from then left ventricle to the aorta through your brain. So you can see this is a series of steps. One is right atrium, then it travel further to left atrium, then it travel to the left ventricle, and then from left ventricle it can travel through aorta uh, through the brain, where it can cause stroke. So this, the whole process is known as paradoxical embolism. Then we have venous thromboembolism, which usually occur at the lower legs, and most common cause of venous thrombi, and usually occur in the pelvic veins or vein of the upper limbs, or it could be occur in the cavernous sinuses of the brain, or it can be occur in the right side of the heart. So there are various locations, anatomical location of the thromboembolism. Then we have fat embolism, which is the obstruction of arterioles and capillaries by fat globules, or deposition of the fat. It could be caused because of the trauma to bone. The non-traumatic cause could be because of the excessive burn, or because of the diabetes mellitus, or because of the fatty liver, or pancreatitis, which is the inflammation of the pancreas, sickle cell anemia, decompression sickness, inflammation of the bones too, and soft tissues. Extrinsic fat has been introduced, like sometimes some women try to enhance their butt, and they added extrinsic fat or oil in the body or body organs, they want to enhance them. Then hyperlipidemia, then cardiopulmonary bypass surgery, and they are all examples of fat embolisms. We will discuss detail in systematic diseases, and we will discuss in detail in systemic diseases later on. Then we have air embolism, which will be occur because of the air entrapment, like gas entrap, which causes obstruction of the vascular flow and can lead to distal ischemic injuries. And it usually occur in decompression sickness caused because of the sudden change of the atmospheric pressure, especially the scuba divers, or because of the traveling, when a person is traveling by air and then the pressure decrease suddenly. Or they mention here as well, scuba divers are unpressurized aircraft. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again in our upcoming lectures. If you have any question, you can send me an email using aslam.shahzad@xmu.edu.my. If you need to request a certain video or on specific terminology, you can also send me email. As you have to understand that there are many topics in these previous some lectures that we will discuss in detail in systemic diseases. So you need to be very patient, and then we will discuss in detail in our upcoming lectures. Thank you.